Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be dedicated to the group to Everglow. Some fans wanted to know about their future, what's ahead for them. And yeah, since I believe the last time I did an update reading for them, it was like in 2024, I believe. Um, and back then things were a bit confused. But now I don't know if there's something about a potential disbandment or there's something about about maybe their contract ending or something with the company. I'm not that familiar with the situation, but I wanted to pull cards, to give this reading to the fans or to whoever supports the girls. So yeah, let's see what they have available for this 2025. For Everglow, we start with the Moon card. We have the Eight of Swords, the Two of Pentacles in the middle, we have the Three of Wands and the Nine of Cups. And then I pull an extra card from another deck, and as an advice I have the card of the Page of Cups, that the keyword is meditation. So definitely, yeah, these are very sensitive times. These are times that somehow demand of the girls to go with the flow, to also maybe review their options, to take it easy. Probably they have more than one option or about what they want to do in the future. But yeah, the first cards that we start with in the reading, we have the Moon and the Eight of Swords. So definitely they come from very dark periods. I believe when I read for them, in this specific reading that I did for them, I believe it was for a comeback of theirs. And the moon, the card of the moon was also present. So I think that is very interesting that the moon, starts the reading and we have the Eight of Swords. So there's like a mental trap, like somehow you're stuck, you feel trapped, you feel like you have no way out. A lot of overthinking, a lot of fears. But I think that, it's very interesting, because I think that maybe they had been dealing with this for a while, and the beginning of 2025 had also been confusing. I think that the girls had been kept in the darkness somehow when it comes to their future or what the group was going to do. There's something about them not being able to see clearly, in their connection with maybe the company or with the people that manages them. Um, there always had been like a suspicion. This is why when I read for them back then, I got this sense of, having fear of uncertainties, actually. Maybe, and I also mentioned that the fans maybe were a bit worried about, like, okay, what is it going to be of you guys? I'm fearful that, this comeback is going to be the last comeback, or that this is going to be the last time that we're going to hear from you. And I got this feeling of, that the girls were also fearful and that they were also doubtful about their future. Um, but now, starting the reading with this feeling, I think that probably they were able to recognize that they had been feeling like this, and I think that the process of you acknowledging that you had been submerged in a sort of darkness, or that you had been feeling, helpless, and hopeless, and sort of like tied up to situations, or you know even perceptions of, like, I don't know what is wrong, but I feel like something is wrong and I cannot pick exactly what it is, but I do feel like I'm lost and I cannot move. So I think that whatever decision or whatever step they take towards their future is going to be to get out of this. And I think that this is important. But I believe that first, in order for them to move on or to advance or to try to get out of this, they had to acknowledge this moon card, because this moon card was present last year. So there's something about, probably they started 2025 with this strong feeling of like, we're still stuck. We are still, I don't know if they were waiting to get released, if they were waiting to be let go, if they were waiting to have, you know someone that could take the chains of them, I would say. But it had to be this uncomfortable, it had to be this suffocating, I would say. It had to be this like anxious, I think that the girls had to feel it in their bones, the uncomfortableness, because otherwise they wouldn't have moved from that place. So, and I think that if maybe the fans have an idea about like, oh yeah, it was mistreatment, or yeah, this happened, or yeah, they had this issue with the company, I think that is there's more to it. There are bigger things, not bigger, but probably worst things than this that um because the girls felt very restricted, and I think that I could even say like there's something about them feeling like victims. So, and when we think about this quote unquote victim mentality, I think that there was also a helplessness in them. Maybe there was so many times where they thought that they wouldn't be able to get out of this, so they stopped pushing it, they stopped resisting, and they went along. But now, it seems like this year they probably felt like, this is enough of us prolonging this, like, we have to, when you are under attack and you no longer move because you are like, it's hopeless, I cannot untie myself from the situation, or I cannot get out, so I will stop resisting. And I think that, something had to happen, because there was something about them, just not fighting back. So I wonder, they had the idea of fighting back, they had this maybe they even express this with words themselves, but I don't see action. And when I say this, I'm talking more about the past, because in the present card that we have, the Two of Pentacles, I do see them finally being able to see a swift change in the reality. So this is good. But I think that, the moon card and the Eight of Swords is giving me that they were immersed in this feeling for a very long time, and they felt so trapped that they weren't fighting back. I don't feel like, I don't even see someone, like a leader or someone in specific that would get my attention, and I would be like, oh no, because this girl or this person interfered or they meddling in, and they were like, no, stop it, like you cannot do this to the girls, or this has to stop. I think that they were, you know maybe they were suffering for a very long time. They were suffering, and they kept going and going and going and not saying anything. And in that you know helplessness, there was, um you know there was also this power being taken away from them. They didn't have the power to choose differently. So I think that this is why the moon card is like, it's as if, they weren't able to move. And I think that it's not because they didn't have the strength. It's more like when you are like depressed, when you are like when you feel depressed, that you don't want to move, even though you have to get out. So it feels like, I wonder if there was some brainwashing in here, because it feels very deep. And And in this, I don't want to worry the fans, when I say this, and I don't also want to, you guys thinking about, this very, um, aggressive abuse or something like this. No, I don't want you to think about this, but I want to grab this energy of like, you guys stayed for so long like this. What happened to you? Like it seemed like there wasn't like they felt so tired. Maybe they weren't fighting back. So I'm like, what happened to your minds that you got into this feeling, and I think that now, and also I wonder if this like them actually maybe ending things, if they ended things with the company. I wonder if this was like that they were let go of instead of them trying to fight to have an ending, because I see them just like, we will wait until it's over, you know not resisting something like this. So yeah, let's have this in mind. That I think that's the sad part for me, because I see the moon card, and it's taking me back to this past reading, and I'm like, what happened to the girls that they were so immersed in this very low energy of like, I know that we're suffering, but I cannot do anything about it. So I choose, I'm sort of here. I'm here stuck. Something like this. But in the middle, we have good news, guys. This is going to a better place. Thank God. This is why I wanted to share this reading with the fans, because I pull the cards and I'm like, it's looking brighter, it's looking better. But I also want us to review where they come from energetically. I'm not claiming I know these people energetically. We have the Two of Pentacles in the middle. So energies are moving, or they're about to, start getting into movement, some decision making, I don't think that it's decision making yet. I think that they have two options. I don't know if they have two different places to go, or if there's a possibility of them being hired by two different entities. They have two options. And I think that when you went through what they went through, to have the possibility to choose, or to have the possibility of being like, balancing, between this and this, is a sign of prosperity. The ability to be able to review this and be like, oh, we have options. We are no longer trapped. Something is flowing, something is moving, something is is alive. There's something about them, coming back to life, I would say. Um, and it's still green. It's still green. I will not be able to tell you like, oh, the decision is going to happen right away. But there's action. So I'm loving this, because it's not just like they are being promised something, or they are being proposed something, and then it will end up in nothing. No, I think that at the end, if they choose to go with another people, or if they choose to take another route, or go to a different path, they do have options, and these options are leading them to have a wish come true, to have what they wanted to have from the beginning, but they never could. We have the Three of Wands, and we have the Nine of Cups. So there's this feeling of this wish fulfillment, like, okay, we waited, we were patient, we are reviewing our options, and finally we are in this very healthy and liberating, and very free mode, that is having a horizon, having a future to look forward to, having a plan, having visions, having work to do, or having, plans to fulfill. It feels very driven, it feels very optimistic. So I think that, whatever this decision that they have to do, because I think that there's a lot of options, so they are juggling, you know, what they want to do. I don't see disagreement in here, so I'm wondering if there's a possibility of the girls to stay together. I don't know, maybe if you guys are like, if you guys are fans and if you're like, no, they're going to disband, I wouldn't be able to tell you, you know, if they're going to do things, go separate ways, and each of them is going to get what they want. But I think that is a mix of, I think that the wish fulfillment or the wish come true is going to be for each one of them and also for the group. So I think that at the end, there's this very happy vibe, this very positive um, and an abundant and also a bit of pride. I think that there's something about them feeling so proud because they're like, you know, from being so restricted to us finally being able to see, you know, potential, to see, you know, people so interested in us or people wanting us or people having all these propositions to us, you know, they feel so alive again. They feel so inspired again. So I see them moving forward with what they want to achieve. And I think that the good thing, you know, with the Nine of Cups is that they probably are going to, you know, end up working for people that they really want to make the girls happy or they want to keep the girls satisfied. So there's this feeling of like, okay, we made it. We made it. We're finally being treated like the queens that we are, or we are, you know, getting the recognition that we deserve, or we are being, you know, pampered, we are being considerated, we are being appreciated. You know, it feels like all of their aspirations, especially emotionally, are going to be you know, satisfied. There's this very happy smirk on their faces, you know, of like, okay, yeah, we started the year or we started this journey feeling very sad and oppressed, but now we are seeing the future, and is actually we are so excited for the things to come. So I'm loving this. And also I think that there's a lot of people, you know, very influential people, and also very like a conqueror kind of energy, you know, people that really want the girls or they want the group, or they want the possibility to be working with them. They want to acquire the group or the brand, I don't know, but it feels like, you know, they're very wanted. So I think that for them it's a really change of environment. You know, it feels like it's a really change of their reality, because their reality, it felt for a very long time, it felt like, you know, they they were, you know, surrounded by negativity, and also that they were being very negative themselves, you know, about their circumstances. So this is why I'm like, wow, what kind of brainwash was this? Because they were really moody. They were really like, you know, when you're like, you know, I don't want to be here, but I have to be here, or you know, this is my destiny, so I will just rot in here. Very heavy energy, very depressed, very, you know, pessimist, I would say. But you know, I see potential of them getting what they want at the end, so I'm really happy to say this, to put this really into words. I really hope that the girls get their happy ending. I do see it. I see them accomplishing something important, something that they really want. So, you know, I'm also rooting for that. And you know, the last card that we have as an advice is the Page of Cups, that is meditation. So yeah, these are moments, and probably 2025 is going to be a year of a lot of introspection, and a year of a lot of meditation, because I think that the girls really need to not only meditate on what option to choose from, or what to do next, or you know, okay, what is it going to be in the future. I think that is more about them also meditating on themselves, you know, and probably The Page of Cups is an invitation to connect with your feelings, connect with your emotions, just, you know, give it a chance to have a lovely start, love yourself more, pamper yourself more, nurture your self-image, your self-love, like, offer love to others, love one another. I think that the keyword of meditation is that they really need to, you know, take care of themselves. This is why the Page of Cups is like, you cannot give to others the love that you don't have for yourself. So there's like a calling, there's an invitation, a very impulsive one and maybe a bit childish, but it's like, guys, love yourself a bit more, like be gentle with yourselves. Don't rush, you know um take the love. If the fans are in these moments also feeling sensitive and they're like, but we love the girls and we want to show it, yes, please, show it to the girls and send them a lot of love, because they need it. And I think that this also is very interesting, is that they have the potential to allow themselves to be like, yeah, we want love. I don't know if their concept had always been like I don't want to say like their concept maybe was like, oh, we are tough, we are like, tough girls, or we are like strong women, or we talk about being strong. But there's something with the Page of Cups being like, you can actually you can start over and actually be a child or act like a child that wants more love, and to actually get a bit on their feelings, get a bit demanding, like, give me love, or give me more of this nice words. I want to hear it. I Give me presents, like, tell me that you love me, tell me that you miss me. There's something about them, allowing themselves to be this vulnerable, because they really need it. They need the love, more than um of course, the recognition and the money and the stability. I think that these girls need a lot of hugs, a lot of, words of comfort, emotional support, of course, because these are sensitive times, and they are starting to feel again and not be on automatic, because I don't know what they went through, but it was dark periods, it was dark times. So yeah, these are not moments to rush. They don't have to rush the processes. Just, um, meditate on your options, take your time, and I think that they will do great in the future. So yeah, let's trust their judgment to choose. So yeah, guys, this is all I have for them. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you are a fan of them and you want to give me a feedback, or you want to tell me something about them because I don't know much, I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.